Shiblu sir said that as our application is used using the node, so we need to install the NVM. So this is the link for downloading the NVM. So I'm copying it, and if I open it in a browser,
so now you are exactly you so far you have prepared one. Now you are actually preparing the programming language environment. In this case, it is Node.js environment. Okay, means JavaScript. So the Node.js, the NVM is the engine that we need to install on the EC2 server, and she has actually shared the link from the official website. We are going to install it now. Okay, go.
so if we scroll down a little bit, here
Yeah.
we can see installing and updating, install and update. So this is the link for installing it. So let's go back to your server, and I will be going to my folder or directory, that is ecom2 back, hit
You have to
enter.
go to
Now
the
we are,
directory. You cannot just
yes.
install anywhere else. You have to go to your code base directory, what she did, and make sure you always read official the documentation, which is the key. Okay, anytime in IT job, the one document will never solve the problem. You always have to read the latest documentation to learn the details. Okay, so she exactly copying and pasting. Enter. Okay,
Okay.
so that is good.
Now we can see it showed us export nvm directory command. This is basically export the environment variables and install the node. So for this, we need to copy all of it and paste it in our terminal. So it is just exporting a variable, which is nvm directory, and this is the location of it. So we'll hit enter again. Now we have to install the nvm. For that, the command is nvm install. I'll be installing the 16 version. So I write 16, hit enter.
Exporting means you just saved it. Now you need to install it. Okay. So now installation is complete. The version is, again, Node.js is like the engine to run the JavaScript for the front end, JavaScript for the backend. For your information, okay, Python is not the front end. Java is not the front end. Golang is not the front end. No other programming language that serve the front end and back end. Only programming language serve both, which is front and back end. It is JavaScript. So JavaScript initially developed for the front end, but then revolution happened. So now JavaScript can be run on the front end, can be run on the back end, and so they need a mechanism. They need an engine, and that engine called the NPM. So that's we have done it because our stack, remember, it's a modern stack. It's a JavaScript frontend and the backend. So we need to, it's a backend. We are installing and configuring. So we need to use the NPM. We have done it.
Okay, now we have to check that our node and npm has been installed successfully or not. For that, the command is node version. We will check the version. If it is installed successfully, then it will show us the version. If it is not, then it will send us an error. So you can see, yes, we have installed the 16 version and it is here. And now I want to see that npm version.
So as a DevOps engineer, before you come to this up to this standard, you always sit down with your backend developer to know the details, which version of the node has been installed. Okay, it is important. You have to install exactly the same version the one developer has used for the coding purposes for the backend code. Same thing for the front end. This is the reason the DevOps engineer work with the developer very the tightly in the during the configuration and the host and or deploy an application. So you don't know it, who you should reach out? You need to meet with the developer to know the details. Not only that, now she just write another command is called the npm. So it is the node package manager. An operating system has tens of thousands of millions of package. What is this package? A package like a code base that does a specific thing. It means we need a package like for the authentication, right? Just authentication, authenticate user. there is a two option. One is our developer can write the entire things from the scratch based on our requirements. Another option is look on the if someone is providing the same packages, either paid or free. Most of the time, if you get the free, you get it. Your team will evaluate it. They will read the documentation. They will see if it is serving your purpose, right? The whatever you need. And if it is out of the security threat, because there is many package, there is a lot of security issues. And another is paid version. Paid version is enterprise version. It means your company will be buying their packages and you'll be able to use in your end. So there is both version of the package available. So the purpose is reinvent the wheel is not the concept. It means you do not build something when somebody already built it. If you develop and build it, it has to have something new. It has to have something unique. It has to solve something that that package is not providing. Okay, so developer community in any programming language, some every programming language the call it different. Some programming language call the package, some call the library, but the end of the day you are using somebody's code base for your application development. Why? You don't have it and you do not need to build it because they already have it. You are just going to use it. That's the reason Node is the engine. You have to install the node, then you have to install the npm, because in this backend there has been many packages are used. If the packages are not matched, your application will not be deployed properly, application will not be working properly, and end user will not be able to browse your application from the website. Okay, go next.
Okay, now we will install some dependencies. Like if I write down npm install, it will install all of them.
So for you, if your npm did not install properly, npm will not work. Okay, so npm is the actual software or the engine, and then npm is part of it. So why we did the npm? I just said in the e-commerce backend code base there is many package has been installed. We need those packages. So before we use those packages, we need to install the package manager, and which is called the npm, and that's the developer did it on their computer. Okay, go next.
Okay, now I have to check that the host name is, what is the host name and where it is located. It will be located as swagger/output.json. So how I will be able to know that? For that, the command is ls space -la. It will show all of the hidden files list. So you can see we are in the ecom back folder, and here there is a list of files and folders. Some of them is hidden, some of them are not. So here from this, we'll check this file to check our host path. So for that, I'll do vim.
See that she just said suddenly, right? You can ask the question, how does the DevOps know? Answer is the same. You meet with the developer will give you the entire process. What is each of the file is holding what? How to configure this? What need to be installed? Which version need to be installed? Which package need to have it? Where this package manager is? They tell you everything else. If as a DevOps engineer ever try to just do the your way, it will not work. Basically, you will fail. And then you will waste your time and you will get yelled by your manager. So the process is the moment you get the code, you all need to get with the developer to know the details. Okay.
So I'm just inside of that file, and for that we have used Vim editor. Vim is the editor, like we have Notepad as a editor. So just like that, Vim is the editor for Linux, and we have we are inside the Swagger output.json file, and here you can see there is a thing named host. We need to check this, like this should be empty for our application, and it is already empty, so we don't need to do anything. But for this kind of application, we all of the time we need to check this, that it is empty or not. As it is empty, so I don't need to do anything here. I just came to this file to show you guys. Now I will save and quit this file. So I'm now again back to my command line. So now I will start my application backend as I have configured the backend. So now I will start the backend. For that, the command is npm start. You can see database connected and server is running on port 5000.
So you see this, she mentioned already. So database is already on the on-premises system, and your backend is on the cloud. So interview question you always ask: is it possible that your database on the one location and your backend is another location? Well, yes, as long as both system has the public IP or that they are connected, they are reaching out each other, they should be able to always different location. It's absolutely fine. So the database on our on-premises server here, and the backend is on the AWS cloud. So it is connected on the backend. On the database, sorry, backend is connected with the database now.
Okay, now I will go back to my instance, and from here I will copy the public IP address of it, and now I will be opening it on a browser. So I just paste it, and here you can see it also shows me the port number of where the backend is running. So it is on 5000 port. So I'll
So,
give a colon here and write down 5000 slash doc. This is, if I write down the slash doc, then it will show me the API Swagger output.
okay, so stay there now. So you see this, this is not done by the DevOps engineer. This is nothing. So this all has been done by the backend engineer. So you got the IP, that is correct, but that's your entity. And then to access a specific port, right? That's the colon, you always give the colon, then the port number. After this, where is located? So it is a doc directory or the route, you can say. And then now you can see the Swagger. What is Swagger here? Okay, so let's learn about that part.